too much.
Oh yeah, no, I 100%.
I think 2K has an influence on the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because the video game is becoming real life.
Now, have y'all seen that meme with Arya Stark replacing Dame's face after the shot?
Yes, that's hilarious. Speaking of Game of Thrones, shout out Arya. That
shit's hilarious.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't even really be looking at a lot of different memes and stuff like that. It's not really my thing. But if I catch them online on Instagram, cool. But Baller Alert had 6 of them in a row that just had me rolling. I mean, for real, it was crazy. I was like, where do people get time? I mean, this is hours after HBO had, had their latest Game of Thrones show. People are able to make them things quick.
Did you see the Game of Zones?
Yes.
Game hilarious. Of Zones. It's like a parody of Game of Thrones, but it's like NBA players.
With Jimmy Butler.
And it makes fun of the latest one was Kyle Lowry loses his shit when DeMar DeRozan gets traded. And then but when they trade him, it's in the olden times, so they crucify him.
I've seen the memes, but I haven't seen it.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's only 2.5 minutes, but it's very much worth the watch.
You'll be thoroughly happy. You'll thoroughly enjoy the fact that Game of Zones is the shit. It's one of the best shows out there. But would you say that you're surprised that Vince Carter's coming back for his 22nd season, and how much longer do you think he's going to go for?
Honestly, I don't care. He can stay as long as he feels like he can. At this point, you have him as your 16th man. It doesn't really matter because he's Vince.
Yeah, facts. I mean, that's all that's out there.
What do you guys think about Dwayne Wade's career?
I think he went out he was smart because he was like, fuck this, I'm going out on my terms. Right. He was like, I don't care what anybody has to say or what anybody is gonna say. At the end of the day, the only thing I care about is am I happy?
I think Dwayne Wade's one of those players that we're gonna appreciate later because we're West Coast.
Mm-hmm. I know everybody here loves Kobe or whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
He was
doing his thing.
He was definitely
I was a fan of Dwayne before Miami had the little trio. You know what I'm saying? But
and he caught one damn near by himself. It wasn't like he had that much help.
And I agree with that. And I believe that I don't think LeBron took away from Dwayne Wade's shine because Dwayne Wade's been the truth. I think Dwayne Wade was kind of like a Steph Curry mentality where I'm going to do what it takes to win. So a lot of the focus went on LeBron, but that didn't stop Dwayne from doing his thing and getting his numbers and just playing him. And I feel like that's where his career, really shows his leadership, but really shows he wasn't about being the star. He has so many all-stars. He has championships, and he just went out cool.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying? He had Melo, Paul, and LeBron on the sideline for some reason. That's super respect.
Exactly.
It wasn't for some reason. Those guys love each other.
Yeah.
Like on some real brotherly love. They love each other.
That's like the definition of like what a real brotherhood
and I'm
is.
happy Melo's in that brotherhood too, because all their careers are so different, but they remember how they started.
For sure.
Yeah, they all started together.
Exactly, and their careers are so different. Like Melo be sometimes probably crying to LeBron, like, bro, why they doing me like this? They remember when we won for Syracuse. Like,
you already know. You know another thing. I believe Dwayne Wade is smart.
Oh, yeah,
so smart.
Why do you think he signed with Ling or whatever?
He got that check going to China with that
Chinese footwear company. And his son now has a shoe or something.
But what I'm saying is, I know he's gonna have some things prepared off the court that's gonna make him good bread, but like be something like that's gonna be a game changer.
That influencer that he's been.
Right. LeBron's been doing that, but I know Wade has it too, and then with Gabrielle Union behind him, like
100%. I feel like his legacy is gonna grow as a businessman now.
It can only go upward.
And Miami loves him like we love Kobe.
Yeah. So he can sell anything, and they're gonna buy it.
100%.
If he wants to. Now he may just go into philanthropy or something with media or entertainment, whatever he wants. Like he literally can do whatever he wants, and it has a very high chance of being successful.
Yeah, he's a standard.
You got it like that, and you've proven yourself and built credibility to your customer, your audience. They're gonna rock with
you. So kind of like speaking about legacies. Today, the Rockets launched their official report to the NBA, basically on ref leaks. So it said that they missed 81 calls in the finals last year that cost them the championship.
Wow.
And basically the NBA is now going into this investigation to kind of look at it. So it's pretty interesting. Do you think this is going to taint a Warriors legacy whatsoever? If this ends up...
This isn't going to even be last. That's not going to happen.
Now what did happen
is... Take away the championship.
Well, they're not going to take it away, but it's a matter of calling it out, because Steve Kerr is kind of going on the offense and saying
I'm sorry, Paul, you're my dude, but they need you healthy a whole season to win that championship.
For sure.
Without Chris Paul, there's no talking about it.
Well, Curry went out today with a hand injury.
Curry's gonna come back.
That
dude be taking out 2 games with the hamstring, and then comes back and does a reverse 3-pointer.
We'll hit 45.
Yeah,
they might not need him.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not a Warriors hater at all. I like the Warriors. I'm a fan of good sports, but the Warriors are so damn nice that it's just it's like murder for another team. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch my boy Harden right now. I'm watching him.
And it's so sickening to me because James Harden. Went to Arizona State University.
Artesia High School.
He's a problem.
Oh yeah.
And it's so awkward how his body moves
because he's so big.
He's big, but his footwork is phenomenal. If you see how he attacks people's right or left legs, depending on where he's going, it's crazy that he can create space and shoot it anywhere, get to his spot, or do that little step back and shoot it with just enough space to make it or get that and one.
But James is a different type of big though.
Yeah.
He's tall and he's not
solid.
He's solid. He's 100%. To be honest, people ain't said this yet, but James Harden and the new dude from Duke, Zion, have the same body and structure. People just were sleep on James early, but James always said it chunky. He was chunky. They don't know how athletic he is. He can get up there. He doesn't push his body for the court. He uses it to his advantage. But he's athletic. He can get up there. Zion is explosive. So he shows it. It took him years to start being that explosive.
But with James though, I think
mentality, but that's a good comparison right there.
I think James though is a way more skilled than like Zion is. Because Zion has to
he has to develop, of course. But that's what I'm saying. People are comparing Zion to LeBron.
Yeah.
People are comparing Zion to all these new next thing.
Stop it. No. Stop it right now. Zion is his own creature.
Exactly.
Right? LeBron was his own. First of all, I feel like LeBron could have won damn near any of the dunk contests his freshman or sophomore year in the league. Because he had stupid bounce.
Yeah.
And was a little lighter than he is now, obviously. But he's stupid cut now. But at the time, he was light, still strong, but his bounce was probably even more than it is right now.
I mean, the first thing they're going to make Zion do when he gets to the league is probably cut weight. Because you can't be 6'7", 285.
He's special.
I understand he's special, but they look at it.
He might trim down.
They got to put him down to 270.
That's it.
He's not. They're not saying
that's a tight.
He's a new type of. Like you said, Zion's his own player. He busted out of some Nikes, bro. That's different. Did you see the Nike? Did you see the Nike?
That was obliterated.
You know they had.
That's what I'm saying.
You know they had to make him the special reinforced.
100%.
They pulled up on him. I was like, "Yo,
different.
You can wear these."
Exactly.
They're like, "We had to reinforce these for you."
That's what
Nike called the execs during the game. Like, "Yo, we have a problem."
He needs to trim weight only to stay healthy for his own body.
Well,
so
also,
he doesn't get injured.
It's less wear on his body.
That's why he needs to trim weight. But he is so fast and explosive at his size that it's him cutting up like he's going to just automatically be in an NBA. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
Kobe Bryant.
I knew that. Yeah, who's your favorite player?
Bill Russell.
You're disgusting.
But
my favorite player is Michael Jordan, just for the record.
Oh, of course it is.
I'm just going to make sure everybody understands who the best is.
Oh, my. You're one of those.
I'm going to do that. I'm not even one of those, but there's so many other people that don't even fuck with him that I just be like, I feel like I have to fuck with him to
he loves Michael Jordan.
I love Michael Jordan.
I love Michael Jordan, but he just reminds me of the villains in movies.
He's such a villain. He is.
He's the type of guy who
he's a real life villain. Like, you just got to think about him from Space Jam, like Mike, and just leave it there.
Okay, so actually, that's a terrible question. Who's your favorite player? I'm thinking of it as, who do you think is the best on the court?
Oh, okay. Best on the court currently?
No.
Or of all time?
Yeah. That's why I said Jordan.
Okay.
So when I think about my favorite player, I can give that to LeBron, because he encompasses everything on court and off the court. Like, I fuck with all of that.
Yeah.
So I have to give it to him right now.
So I think you guys are thinking about dominance, but for me, my favorite player is not the most dominant.
It doesn't have to be dominant.
For me, my favorite players right now, one of my favorite players who doesn't get enough credit, and it's just maybe his attitude, is Russell Westbrook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's a real baller.
No,
it's his attitude though.
But his attitude is so great.
But no, I'm saying to the public. I know you don't.
It's to the public because his attitude is so great for what he's represented and what he's doing for Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah,
he's just going hard.
Well, people don't know how hard it is to get 2020.
I also
don't know how hard it is to be Russell Westbrook.
And I also don't think people realize how hard it is to be a small town hero in a sense, like Russell Westbrook is.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because the reason why Kevin Durant, people are like, oh, why doesn't anyone respect Kevin Durant's rings, blah blah blah. It's because if Russell Westbrook can do this by himself, imagine what he could have done with you.
Is gonna be. I mean, the money, everybody knew that money was going to separate the situation. Oklahoma City just didn't have enough money to keep all three of them.
Yeah.
But one ring that what Russell gets compared to KD's 3 rings, one ring is going to, you know what Oklahoma's going to do for that man?
So this brings me to why I think KD has to leave.
Yeah. Because he has to.
For his legacy.
He has to build his own shit.
Build it somewhere else.
You can't. You won't be respected.
But
he's not gonna be respected the same. But then now people are seeing what he's doing, and he's like leading the team. And it's like, okay, we understand that you're leading this team at this point. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I played 1-on-1 with KD at a tag gym in Chicago. That's where they do the NBA Combine. His shot is impossible to block.
Well, he has a 7-foot wingspan. Of course it is. Like,
I'm 6'9", bro. If I'm in your face, there should be no way you can. I don't care how tall you are. Like, there should be no reason and no way you can shoot over me. And he was like, not even. He was just out there chilling, like, you know, we just out here playing the 7, like with a little 5-on-5 little scrimmage. And I'm playing. I'm not trying to get dropped on, so I'm playing close. I'm playing tough, but it's like it's nothing to him because he's not gonna lose the ball. He's not gonna get ripped, and he lets it go from so high that I can't get up there. Like even when I'm trying.
He has a 7-foot dribble. You know what I'm saying? His crossover is so long, and he gets it off.
His arms is long, so he can still keep the ball low.
I learned something about KD last playoffs, and this is the difference between KD and what people expect from KD to me, is Kevin Durant is a team player.
He is.
He wants to be part of a team. Yeah. Like, he was raised, like, he's not LeBron, he's not Russell, he doesn't have that, it's mine, I'm going to go get it, all me attitude. He has that, I want to share the ball, pass it around, pass it to me when I score. And I don't know, like, he's a killer. Last year we saw him shoot some threes and make them, like, he's cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? But he's still in the clutch. He will be cutthroat if he has to be. Right. He's like a secret Mamba. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. But that's why I think it didn't work at OKC, because Russ, I love my man. He's vicious. And
but sometimes he doesn't pass.
Not even that. It'd be times where you go on a roll, you know, KD is doing his thing, and Russ feels like he has to force something still.
Yeah.
And some of them shots that he was taking, he takes now, are completely ill-advised. I'd be like, yo, if you're in high school, those are the shots you take, you have to go sit down.
Yeah.
Right? Like, 100%. He does that so much that, like, and KD doesn't even really be tripping, like, when I think he should be. And in the locker room, he might have been, he might not have been, I don't know.
And he's so passive aggressive. And I don't think his attitude worked with Russell. It's not his fault. But his attitude, he's such a nice guy. Curry's a nice guy. Clay's a nice guy. Like, they all get along.
Yeah, they chill.
And Kevin just wants to be part of a team that he just gets along. And that's like different for the NBA. And that might mess up his legacy. But somebody like Kevin who's doing his thing is Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, he's quiet.
You know what I'm saying? He's quiet like Kevin, but he's still not taking that.
We're not gonna skip over my man Dame Dollar though. Dame he's another one of the most humble people that is at that elite level that I know.
And that's working for his spot.
Yeah. That's
another one. So Dame or somebody like Kyrie, those are like my favorite players in the league right now. Like these ones that really rock when you watch them play. They
Kyrie
bust you.
Is my favorite to watch.
100%. Kyrie.
Period.
I haven't had that much fun since Allen Iverson.
True. His grandpa Drew. It's like I see that every time I see him on the court. He just got that. I mean, it's one thing to dribble, not to lose the ball. It's another to dribble to like lose niggas.
But he's been like that since high school though too. Because I remember the first time I saw him was on the AAU circuit, and like everybody came to watch him, and I haven't seen handles like that since Brandon Jennings. And Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings in high school. You're from LA.
No, Brandon
and you know what Brandon Jennings meant to.
He's somewhere too that gets lost in. He's someone too that got lost in the NBA, and he'll be back. Like, so Brandon Jennings to me, I'm hoping he has like a Swaggy P career, because Swaggy, like, people don't know, he's been in the league forever.
For a minute.
Like he's almost on his 10 years.
Like,
but he just like got that name of Swaggy Pete.
Nah, he's
he had a college. He's like Brandon Jennings. He had a college and high school superstar. I mean, yes, college USC superstar. But the league sometimes in these trades and things happen, you get lost in it. Like Brandon is one of the best players I ever seen back in the day.
By the way, if you want to still support Brandon Jennings, he has a clothing brand called Tough Crowd Out. So go check that out at toughcrowd.com.
He's not in the league though right now, right?
Nah, I think he's playing in Russia, but like, he's doing well. Like he's doing very well
There's a lot
right
of dope
now.
guys that things happen.
Well, did you see Jimmer
Fredette? He was in China
back.
Going crazy,
and now he's back in the league.
Now he's back. He's with the Suns.
But here's the thing: is like if you're over in China averaging 40, you're making at least $3 million a year. And then by the Chinese basketball is only 3 months long, so you make $3 million. You're making like $1 million a month basically.
They have a couple different like leagues, I think.
Damn, Jimmy.
Well, no, I'm saying like the average league though.
Yeah, right.
Like you're only in a league for like 3 months,
There's
so you'll
money
make
out there.
$3 million and play like for 6 months because you'll play in 2 different leagues.
Dope.
Like that shit's crazy.
I want to shift this conversation a little bit. Ari has a business, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
She has a great business. I love this business. I want you to talk to the people about the business. What do you do? Introduce yourself to the people, since we're already a half hour into the podcast.
I'm your friendly gold teeth dealer, neighborhood gold teeth dealer, literally. I started selling grills out of my house. I was just like, a few years ago, I've always wanted a grill. And back in the day when I was in high school, I remember in high school when Tiana Taylor and Pharrell and Nelly, all of them had grills. And I used to tell my mom, like, I wanted a grill so bad. But they were so expensive back then. So in college...
So when Nelly had that song, how did you feel?
I was hurt because I was in high school and I wanted a grill. I wanted an iced out grill too. I wasn't playing, but like it was super inaccessible for people then. We used to go to the swap meet. We used to go to Slauson and try to get one. But
get you a little quick one.
Yeah, give me some gold teeth. And I remember I had bought 2 looking snaggletooth as I don't know what. But it was something I was always into. And it was crazy because as I got older, I went to college. I went to study business, marketing, and design.
Hennessy.
Okay,
cool.
But I went to school for design, and like I'm one of those people that always like to hustle everything. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball. Like if I was selling clothes when I was a kid, I used to paint on my shoes and try to sell them, like my Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was always creative, and I always was thinking about what's next.
Mm-hmm.
Like thinking about what's the next thing. We used to have our own T-shirt company. Used to be dazzle stuff, all types of things like the silk screen early.
So now you got your plug, and you're actually molding your clients' gold teeth for them.
Yes.
And you built your business up to where it's at now.
Yes.
What do you think was that pivotal moment where you were like, okay, this might be what I want to do for a long time. Like this might work.
Because out of all the things that I've done, out of throwing parties, out of DJing, the difference between selling gold teeth and selling gold than doing anything else is the demand from the people.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to create an opportunity for people in my community, people where I come from, people at my schools, from students, to older people who don't necessarily have the access to jewelry, don't necessarily have the knowledge of jewelry and gold that is needed to buy jewelry, but have always wanted something. So they're always interested. So I wanted to give them an honest source that they could be comfortable buying quality like jewelry, to be honest, to talk to. Because I mean, dealing with somebody in your mouth, like that's not easy. You know what I'm saying? For the average person, they don't want to deal with everybody. So I wanted to create a comfortable space where people could really be creative and break down what they wanted.
And that's love. And you already know I'm waiting on my next one, so
yeah,
we gotta figure that out. Max might go ahead and pull up with one little one too. You know what I mean? Or you gonna get the
bottom six
okay.
right now.
All right,
Exactly.
So I want you to explain to the people how you transition from this out of the house business to one now that has allowed you to do other things in your personal life. You know, we sat right here in this living room and we talked about some things, and I want that to be something that we can educate the people into as well. So let's talk about it.
I literally took an idea and, like we said, we broke it down step by step. Like I told Teo, I know myself. I know how to talk. I'm very personable. I know how to talk to people and interact. But with the business, I felt like you gotta write stuff down, and it sounds corny, but it's really setting a goal like every year, step by step. We broke off layers. I'm like, all right, I gotta get into a shop now. All right, I gotta get this taken care of, and literally peeling like an onion, peeling off every layer of what I know about a business to going out to find out if it's facts or not.
Yeah,
has really set me apart.
Right, and so to put it all in one word or two words, we made a business plan. But I think one of the critical items that you got done that helped you out was actually setting up your articles of organization. Now, for the people out there, it's really just how you set up a business. I mean, when you have something, whether you're selling something out of your trunk or you're selling something to your friends, to your peoples, when you set up the articles of incorporation, you start in the LLC, S Corp, or whatever corporation that you want. But what that allowed you to do was to go file and get your EIN number and then open up your account. Now, when you open up your account and you use that as your business account with your business name attached to it, you start to get that history, right? You got money coming in, you got money going out, and it's being tracked and logged at the bank. But now, when you want to get a business loan or any business credit or line of credit, they have something to base that off, information to base off of to be able to allow you to get that. So, and I want to make sure people like have that thought, like
100%. It's important because as a lot of us, a lot of me and my friends, a lot of people sell t-shirts, clothes out their car, out their house that they make, and we used to doing stuff under the table and doing stuff with cash. But I wanted a business that I could grow, a business that I could make money from in the future, and that I could see the money grow. Yeah. Because it's easy to keep track of money in your head and know, okay, if I do this much, I'm gonna have this much. But when it's all cash, sometimes your money gets lost and it doesn't get the credit it deserves to show your work. So even just having a business and making it legit and getting your EIN number and taking care of those things, you feel like you're losing in the beginning because you have to pay like taxes and things like that. Right. But in the long run, it's not a loss at all. You have to pay attention to those things. And I feel like people like me, people who are just starting and never had anybody in their family own a business. Well, my dad owns a business, but just somebody to teach them those certain rules like articles of organization, LLC. They're scared of those big words and those letters, and you can't be. You have to attack it.
How long? Remember we talked about this, and I was trying to get you over here forever, but you thought it was going to take you a while to do this task. And I told you, sit right here, fill it out on the computer. How long did it take you to do? Honestly.
2 minutes.
From the time that we started to the time that you.
Oh, it really only takes 5 minutes.
Right, because you. But
I was a little bit slow.
And we just had to pay for the joint, and it was done.
I think it's like $279.
We're not even going to talk about prices with the people because it's so legit.
It's different in every state.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's like
different in every state.
It's like relative because I have LLC and Wi-Fi sessions, and it's like I think for me to file and get an EIN and everything like that,
easy.
It's like $300.
Yeah. That's if you use LegalZone.
Exactly. That's ink file.
Come to Teo or come to me. We'll hook you up.
Easy.
Show you how to do it.
the way we did it, we went straight to that.
Straight to the source. Yep. You don't have to worry about paying more than $200.
So what are some projects that you have coming up with Gold Teeth Gallery?
So what's awesome is this year it's really taking a turn. Like I said, it's something that there's a demand for. That's what's never stopped me from going. People want grills. People are interested about it. People want to see what's going on. So
people want to buy regular gold from you too, right?
People want to buy gold chains. Yeah. People are interested in the business, period, which is a good feeling and gives me a turn because now I want to give that experience and I have the room to give that experience to people. So we're building a Gold Teeth Gallery. We recently just had our first photo shoot with Adrian Walker, a published photographer at Visco.
Nice.
And we should be getting a few pictures published through them, which is awesome. The Gold Teeth Gallery is more than just coming to get a grill. It's actually a gallery. We're trying to show and provide a lifestyle that people live by, that people grew up by, and show there's a purpose for grills. Like, we shine for a reason. You know what I'm saying? The location's in Los Angeles for the main store. The storefront's going to be in Los Angeles this summer, but the location for the gallery is one of them's going to be at Dope Era. There's going to be a spot.
Oakland.
There's going to be a spot in San Francisco, and there's going to be a spot at Soul Space. Nice. But these galleries are going to be popping up within the next month. We're going to try to start the first one the last week of May, first week of June.
You did some pop-ups over at Beast Mode at one point in time too, though, right?
Yes. So I worked at Beast Mode. I've done a pop-up there, but now I'm trying to.
For those that don't know, that's Marshawn Lynch's clothing store. That's in
Oakland. Shout out Beast Mode. We did a grill for Mama Lynch.
Yeah.
She loved it. Miss Sunshine.
Marshawn Lynch's mom. You did a grill for Marshawn Lynch's mom.
Yes.
That's
crazy.
Alone.
And she like that alone shows the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Marshawn is famous for wearing grills during games. He's famous for wearing grills during practice. He never takes his gold teeth out.
Sure.
So when I met them and I met the family, like his mother was so interested in the project and so interested in the company that she wanted one before him.
So lit.
You know what I'm saying? She got diamonds in her teeth too. Shout out Miss Mama Lynch for the diamonds in her teeth.
Man, for real.
You know what I mean?
Black
but
woman
just support like that is what keeps me going. Just knowing that people in the community see that I'm trying to make a difference and provide something to the community that hasn't always been there. You know what I'm saying? Like, gold teeth are hard to find. The difference between me and anyone else is I'm coming to the people.
You got quality too, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I don't know if it's my Nigerian blood or what it is in me, but I can't do fake gold at all. If it's under 14, we have some issues. So I definitely respect the quality that you're giving out. And number two, do you even know why I fuck with you, Ari?
No.
You have no clue, huh?
No.
Because you're like, why would you even help me? Like,
I don't even ask those questions anymore, but I just appreciate the support. Like, people like you and everyone else who's just been supporting me. I don't understand, but
I reached out to you. I reached out to a couple other people we talked about, but I want to support you because you hungry. You 100%. Absolutely understand that it takes full 100% work ethic to make it, and that recipe, as long as you are going in the right direction, it's going to get you far. And you don't need me for that, you know what I'm saying? But I recognize it enough to be like, all right, well, let me at least get my little piece in there to help you achieve whatever you want to achieve. And all I ask is that you return it to somebody else when you make it where you're going.
You know I will. It's 100%.
You already have been.
It's about passing it along, and just the push is what keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am hungry. I'm fully after it.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, the difference between you and like Elon Musk is opportunity and resources. It's not skill level and brain. No, it's nothing like that. Because a lot of these folks that have built multi-million-dollar businesses was in the right place at the right time, hearing the right things from the right people, bumping in with the right shoulders, right? And so access ain't like that for us. You know, you and I, we here, we all we got. So we got to make sure that we help each other and put each other on to.
And with gold, like we
never
had access to gold. Not out here.
That's an
not
asset.
in. You know what I'm saying? Not out here. So it's been a tough road to even just get there, get to that point. And it's something that we make look easy, but nothing's easy. It does take a lot of hard work. So I'm excited. Like this month we got started in May. I got my first pop up with Wi-Fi sessions, which is gonna be dope.
Lit. That's lit. I mean, why not?
We're definitely becoming an official sponsor of Wi-Fi sessions in the future, and we're going to be doing grill giveaways at the end of the month. So there's a lot of big things coming, I think, that are just different and here to surprise the people. We are here to surprise the people.
Let's do it. Yeah, you've been doing a lot in the community. We've been seeing a peep game, and we'll try and hold it down on our end over here as well. We're trying to start this thing right here in West Oakland.
Right here in West Oakland.
West Oakland.
That's amazing, though.
14th and Wood.
100%. That's amazing.
That's the crazy part about it is we're in West Oakland. We're in West Oakland.
Yo, when you look up West Oakland on Google, it's called the Bottoms.
Yep.
And people don't understand that. But I wouldn't want to live anywhere else but the Bottoms right now in life. It's humbled me so much. It's taught me so much. And just being in an environment that you see needs help and you're here on a daily basis just makes you love it. And that makes you appreciate it.
And I'm not even from here, but it doesn't matter. I moved here and I'm like immediately a part of the community. And what's wild is when I travel and like I come across somebody that says they're from the Bay and they look at me like, where in the Bay? And I'd be like, Oakland. They'd be like, where in Oakland? I'd be like, the Bottoms. Their whole face changed. They'd be like,
the Bottoms. I'm not gonna mess with you. It's not even like that, man. It's really all love.
But I just think about how it used to be and how things are kind of transitioning, and it's still like
gentrification.
But I wouldn't really want to be anywhere else. I don't want to be anywhere but by the Lake Merritt. I don't want to be.
Me either. It's something different. Straight. It's weird. The community right here, I feel good. I feel safe. I feel protected. And most people wouldn't say that, but you got to be over here to know.
But then a change is coming.
So we do have news to cover.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
There are some events that have happened this week that are pretty notable. So this week we had Something in the Water Festival, first annual.
Festival.
Something in the Water Festival.
Where is that at?
So that was in Something in the Water Festival. Pharrell was the main headliner for it. And
he brought out everybody.
He brought out Jay-Z, Tyler the Creator,
shout out Jay-Z.
Snoop Dogg, Travis Scott, Virgil Abloh, Pusha T.
When Pharrell calls, people are coming.
But then Jay-Z had the busiest weekend because the night before he reopened Webster Hall for his B-side concert series where he did the freestyle, right?
You gotta be the king. Disgusting. You gotta be the king to open Webster Hall up.
And in more music-related news, Skepta is coming out with a new album, Ignorance is Bliss, which should be coming out this summer sometime, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's announced a date for it yet, but it's funny because Skepta is one of those people where like he has all these Nike collabs that sell out in 30 seconds and he has connections with Virgil Abloh and Kim Jones and all these high-end people. And people forget like he is how people view like Justin Timberlake in the UK for like I'm not fucking kidding. Like he'll post a picture on Instagram and like 30 minutes he'll have 20,000 likes like instantly and thousands of comments of just people like fuck. Like his shoes resale for average like $500-$600 before they even come out.
The 97.
Get them now because they're only like $220, and I think retail was like $250.
Yo, shout out Max.
Max knows what's going on.
So also, Yeezy Boost speaking of sneakers, we have the 350 V2 glow in the darks. So these ones, what's sick about them is they actually like glow in the dark. So you turn the lights off, those shits are gonna shine. And you know, with that gold teeth money, might not be.
Kanye. Kanye.
Wow.
You have like I think they're the Silver Surfers, and these like they're tight. Yeah. I might have to cop. And your clothing.
But here's the thing: is retail on these is going to be $250 as opposed to the normal $215 to $220, and they are going to start dropping on May 25th.
Who gets Yeezys at retail without doing anything special these days?
If you go to YeezySupply.com, usually, like that's a site not a lot of people I think check because everyone just tries to go to like Adidas and all the like boutique sites. So if you go,
I've seen the site. I've seen the app too.
And people will check because Yeezy Supply low key looks like one of those like fake Chinese websites.
It does. That's
so no one shops on it. Those Calabasas pants that sold out, they were on there for 3 months. Before they sold out, and it works. It's real. It just is super plain and has that 8-bit text type.
How about the goat?
The goat?
Yeah.
Well, goat. Okay, so here's the thing. Goat in Stock X.
Yeah, I always wondered about those two too.
So goat is good for really old sneakers. So if you want the 85 Brads or the LeBron 2s samples or something like from that era, then you're going to use GOAT. If you want something current that is dropping and there was an early release and you're trying to cop it, or it's a shoe from, for example, the glow in the dark 2s, you would want to use StockX. Right. Because StockX is making reselling really, really, really hard because you'll have people, I want 350, and StockX will go, you can just buy these for 220.
Wow! So
they're completely undercutting the market. So I'm an advocate for StockX. Are they real? Yeah, because StockX is verified. They have they go through too, right? Yeah, they both have verification processes. So it's not a matter of authenticity. Yeah. It's really a matter of price, really. And also with sneakers, I hate pronouncing his name. Giannis. Yeah. However you pronounce that last name. He will be putting out his first sneaker this year, apparently, through Nike, I believe. Right. So the first, it's going to be the Nike Zoom Freak 1.
Oh, that's a cute name.
This is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. This is the mock-up of it. Bad at all. So that's what the Zoom Freak 1.
It's about time for Giannis to get his shoe deal. Okay, I see him.
It's kind of cool. They kind of stole that backwards swoosh from the Travis Scott one.
They did, right? That's a new.
I was gonna say I think we're gonna start seeing that on Nike
on
shoes
Air Force and everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm waiting until it does it. Do you think? So would you cop or drop for you guys?
I fuck around with cop just to hoop them.
I might go playing them. For some basketball shoes.
Summer shorts.
2 things.
Nike socks. They'd be cool.
I could wear them at like Venice Beach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or like if I want to go to a basketball tournament and make people think I'm still popping, I'll be 100%. Like, if I was 16, I'd be out here.
I could wear those to pour over some Yeezys. I could wear those on the pour over some Yeezys. So.
By the way, I want to go see Drew League because Brandon Jennings has a Drew League team this year. Tough crowd.
My man's plays in the Drew League. Tristan Walker.
Plus, we got to go down to LA to see Gio. So that's always a necessary trip
to
see Gio. Also, in NBA related news, so even though Thunder have been, speaking of your favorite player, Russell Westbrook, even though Billy Donovan has been eliminated first round of the playoffs, Presti has killed basically all speculation by giving Billy Donovan a contract extension and basically saying it's up to him if he wants to come back. Because the job's still open.
I don't see him going anywhere else. So.
And then Popovich is still going to be the most paid coach, the highest paid head coach in the NBA right now.
Pop, like everybody loves Pop in the league. So
It's but it's only a 3-year extension. That's the thing. And he'll coach till he's damn near 80.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't want to put that word on him, but he's gonna coach till there's no more coaching left in him.
So he can't speak no more.
Exactly. Pop is in there. He's tenured. Is that the word? Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's in there. He's not going nowhere.
And speaking of people who aren't leaving the collab scene and who are annoyingly all over our timelines, so Virgil Abloh and Evian had a rumored collaboration, I think, around the time when the IKEA stuff released.
Wait, who?
Virgil Abloh.
No, I know him.
And Evian Water.
Evian.
The water company.
I was wondering how.
So the weird rumor that kind of started on Reddit and then went to Twitter and has been on the internet since has come true because Virgil Abloh and Evian will start releasing water bottles in the United States
for $30.
For $30, you can hydrate yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
It better be alkaline. That's all I know.
It doesn't even matter.
I would never pay $30 for water.
It's gonna be way more expensive.
I would wait.
The water in Vegas.
If it was alkaline and bubbled with a nice fruit spritzer, then maybe
that LaCroix.
But it has to be alkaline. No, LaCroix is nasty.
LaCroix water.
It has to
It's gonna be at all the finest restaurants. This is gonna happen. Virgil is
it's gonna be a sack.
So
why would you do that?
Speaking of
Supreme Clyde. What's Supreme gonna get with? They're gonna get with Core.
I feel like Supreme's just like given up, and they're like, we're gonna go find products that we like, and then just slap our label somehow on this piece, and then call it a collab. Like,
what do you guys think? What's up with Supreme after the Louis Vuitton Supreme collab?
After that, I ain't seen them.
It's just like I said, it's like they just stopped trying.
No, that's 100. So
I'm
a fan of Supreme, but a lot of my I feel like Supreme is jumping towards the new like mainstream version of you know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful with Supreme. You gotta have some dead stock.
So Supreme, here's a perfect analogy for Supreme. So you know Scarface? Yeah. You remember when Tony Montana is like sitting?
I just watched this movie too. I love Scarface. It's a classic. Please go watch it if you haven't seen it.
You got a problem.
So
you have to watch it.
So you remember when he's like sitting in that desk towards the end of the movie, and he has all that money and that big ass pile of cocaine, and then all of a sudden those people start breaking into his yard.
Yeah, he's just like ready.
So Supreme, like the Louis Vuitton drop was like that pile of cocaine, and then his sister was like was just them giving up and just firing off shots.
They're gonna come back. They have to come back with like. You're crazy.
A wild analogy, boy. You're wild.
Like
you should get one of them.
They need to come out with a collab with like Miracle.
What up, Terrador? By the way, we have someone in the chat right now, Terrador.
What is up?
Chat popping.
So, also, speaking of overpriced items, Burger King stock is about to go up as they're creating the Impossible Whopper, which will be selling worldwide. So this is like
heart attack.
You can still enjoy a Whopper without eating any meat.
Impossible Whopper.
That's impossible. That is
so like so you know what the Impossible Burger is, right?
No.
You don't know what the Impossible Burger is?
I haven't.
It's like some vegan vegetarian burger.
But like it tastes exactly like a hamburger.
I do not want that from Burger King.
But here's the thing.
Like, who's cooking that?
You know, Esmeralda
coming from
Esmeralda, who says her name is Jessica.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who's cooking that? How are you gonna tell me it's impossible? Like, I don't trust you, Burger King. You need to stay in your lane. Stay with real hamburgers.
Because I don't think they don't have that Wendy slogan, "Fresh, not frozen."
To be honest,
pretty sure it's just frozen.
Be honest, people like that's what's fucked up in this world. People need to stay on key. Like, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you automatically know your food's going to be more expensive.
True.
It's supposed to be more expensive because it's healthier and it's fresher. That's what it's based off of, eating fresh, healthy food. So if you're at Burger King, where we know everything is not fresh and healthy, how are you going to make affordable Impossible Burger. That's impossible. That's why you're lying to the world, and you're. It's really like what it's supposed to be. Impossible. Like you can't make a low end vegan burger.
So speaking of social media news, there is big news with Instagram. They are announcing to basically hide likes off of pictures. So you'll be able to see that people are liking the photo, but if I see one of your pictures, I won't be able to see
how many likes I have.
Yeah, I'll just see that people have liked it, but I can't click on the likes to see who's liked it. But from your perspective, you would be able to see who's liked your photo and how many from your own account view. So if you saw your own photo, you'd be able to see how many people liked it. But people aren't gonna, because they want people to start focusing on content. Because now I feel like Boom Gang and all these people have contributed to this, because they started doing things that if likes didn't exist, then that stuff wouldn't have done well or gotten them relevant.
I don't know about
Instagram,
man. Instagram keeps coming. Exactly. Like if Facebook would have stayed Facebook from the beginning. I think I like Facebook now though. His transition has been like a little bit okay.
I'm off it.
You're off of it?
Crazy. I mean, I still have the account. I still can post from Instagram to Facebook.
That's what I do.
I just don't go on Facebook.
But I need the business account on Facebook works because of the network. Facebook has a whole different network than Instagram. Mm-hmm. I feel like Instagram, I was just talking to somebody about this, but the algorithm has changed over the past 3 years in Instagram.
Of course.
So it's not authentic anyway. So right now, you're kind of like, if you're not a Kim Kardashian or if you're not like a sponsored Fashion Nova person, you're paying for likes anyway just by promoting things. Mm-hmm. And you're paying $1 for like 20 likes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't respect that part of Instagram. That's why I'm taking it back old school, where it's like really about meeting people and going outside, because you can't trust the algorithms anyway.
I'm glad you're thinking like that, because it's the grassroots shit that's going to actually keep you more relevant. Well, just create content that you care about. Don't even worry about the likes.
You shouldn't be worried about the likes anyway. So it's kind of a win, but that's not what people really want to focus on.
Thank you for the follow, Terador.
What was that?
That's whenever we get a new follower. That sound gets
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Shout out to new follower.
Absolutely.
But
I recently personally detached myself from Instagram. I think people take Instagram too personal. And for myself, I don't want to compare myself to people. I just want to take a complete break.
You can't do that.
Personally.
Personally, yeah, for sure. But from a business standpoint,
no.
You got to stay consistent and just post the things that you think is relevant to your business, that is engaging to your audience.
And that's a big step that changed my business also, because I went from using my personal account so much to staying focused on my business account to keep it going, keep it operating. So sometimes you have to focus on one thing.
Keep it relevant, keep it clean, keep pushing.
But it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people are starting to move away from having like personal Instagram accounts to now everybody's like a blogger or whatever their hobby is. They're now all of a sudden that thing on a business profile on Instagram.
Who said you couldn't be though?
No, I'm not saying they can't be, but I think it's very interesting though how you said the shift, how you were like, oh well, I stopped using my personal to post personal shit and just started like fitness. Promoting the stuff I was doing.
There's so many fitness accounts. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
The difference is
it's a lot.
You gotta do this shit in real life.
All right.
100%. Like that's one of the best things and the proudest moments of my business and what I'm doing is because I do this shit in real life. But and nobody can take that away from me.
But that's what's gonna create longevity, because with that 100%. Like you know how everyone jokes and they go, oh, well, if like the internet shut down tomorrow, would you still have a job? To like influencers. And it's funny because I can sit here and be like, yeah, like I have to wake up and go to work tomorrow. Like I'm not people who watch this kind of stuff, I think they have this perception like, oh, he produces this podcast like once a week and that's kind of all he does. No. But then I'm like, no, like before I was here, I was at work and then like I left work, met up with Ari, got fitted and came here to do this. And then I'm like I gotta get up and go to work tomorrow. And like I gotta do that every day for the next God knows how long. And so I think it's funny because people have this perception that, oh, these people don't have jobs and this is all they do. But in reality, it's like, no, we all have normal jobs that like give us health insurance and like pay our rent on time, 100% guaranteed if all else fails. And I think that's what people are starting to escape from, because the biggest meme on Instagram last year was like, oh, people moved to LA to become famous, but they just end up having a drug habit and in debt, basically. Like, but it's the truth, because they go down there, meet someone who goes, oh, I'll put you on. And then they're like, oh, just like take a Percocet, it'll relax you. And then next thing you know, like you're hitting, you got to take Perc 30s every day just to function, because you're like.
There's a lot of people doing that route, but luckily the people in my circle, they don't have those issues.
Oh, no. Straight. But it's just like, when you're around, so when you're like at the peak where you've made it, and then you have people around you who are trying to make it, it's like the people who are trying to make it are going to do those like unnecessary things.
There's a lot of those people. You got to weed. Those are snakes and just lames. Like, you got to weed yourself out. And that's what separates a real business person from somebody who's trying to interpret.
But for me, what I do is I give everybody a chance, man. If you're out here trying to better yourself, if you're out here trying to get on to the next level, if we're close, or if you're around me and we have a connection, bro, I'll help you. I'm gonna give you a couple things that I think you should do, and hopefully that's can be enough for you to like get on to that next level. I mean, but if you fuck that up, dog, it's deuces.
That's what I'm saying. I was gonna be like, I'm like, you a nice guy.
I'm not.
Sure, I think that's fair.
You can't. I don't have time. I try. I give chances, I will say, but I don't hang out with too many people.
No,
I'm not a hangout type.
That's respectable, but
this isn't a hangout thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
It's because like some people just aren't raised to have a moral code, because they've never been in a position where they've had any sense of accountability. Because like, you can sit here and say like, oh, I didn't have a father figure, but at the end of the day, it comes down to like, well, you went to school every day, which whether you paid attention or whatever, the fact that you had to be at a place by 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever your school start time was, like that's structure. And that's like laying a foundation. And at that place, you have resources that if they know you have a shit home life, that will go like above and beyond to make sure you have what you need to compensate for like the things that you're lacking.
Not all school districts.
No, and but also it's not all school districts, but part of the reason is like people don't look at both sides of the coin. Like I 100% agree. Some school districts are just plain shit.
Oakland Unified, have you heard?
No.
Bro.
I've heard it's falling apart. They gotta start firing teachers because they don't even
be able to have enough money to like operate.
No,
like, it might be taken back by like the state.
But here's the thing:
Oakland Unified, short-end. One of my day jobs is I'm a photography teacher and a media instructor, 6th through 9th grade.
Nice.
And it's one of my favorite jobs. Probably the best thing for me. Keeps me grounded. And I was on strike for 2 weeks this year. being a teacher, and it was the hardest thing to ever deal with because it's not the teachers. It's not, they don't want to strike. Like, we don't want to have, you don't want your kids to be home for 2 weeks and still have spring break. Yeah. Like, imagine in school, what they don't understand is school is all these kids have at some point. Like, these kids' parents don't stop going to work because they're not in school. So what are the kids doing?
They had to bring some of their kids to
fucking
work.
Around.
They don't have shit to do. You can't bring your kid to work. They're at home. They're able to get in trouble. They're not able to learn. And it's just like, it puts us in a weird position because the kids think we left them when we never did. We're fighting for the better, and Oakland's just not hearing it. So Oakland and Oakland Unified, like, it's a long battle.
But I mean, that's like just how our government works. Like, for example, 100%. I mean, most people don't understand this, right? So, like, 2 years ago, there was this thing called the Paradise Papers that released. It was 11.5 million legal documents from Appleby Associates, which is a law firm that specializes in creating offshore accounts. And companies like, there were 225 world leaders linked to this, to these documents, and companies like Apple, Google, Nike, Twitter are all linked to it. And like 4 cabinet members are all on this document. So if people sit here and complain and go, oh, well, like, that doesn't affect us. What's affecting us is like the Oakland School District, right? Which it is affecting you, but you can't get to the source of the problem when like they're contributing to the problem. Because when you buy, because that affects you, believe it or not, and most people think it doesn't because they're like, well, I don't work for Nike, I work for the school district. But when you buy that Nike shoe, you're buying the intellectual property of that swoosh. You're not buying the actual sneaker. So it's $150 for that swoosh on that piece of fabric. Mm-hmm. So if you have offshore accounts, when you go and pay your $165 plus $165 after tax,
tax money, to the company, they supposed to pay that to the government. They putting that offshore, and now that money that should have been going to the government and then going to the school district, it ain't there.
So if they made $100 million in a year, like let's say they made $100 million, they're only reporting probably like 40, and then 60 is going like offshore, so it's unaccounted for. So they made 100, but to the government and to the U.S., it looks like they only made 40. So then all of a sudden, when people are like, "Why are our taxes so high?" Like the tax situation in California, the housing situation in California, it's not going to end, because here's the thing with the bubble: like a bubble can only get so big until it pops, right? Sure. But when you have companies like Google, Facebook, who have billions upon billions of dollars to basically say, oh, well, I can't afford to live there. And they're like, okay, well, how much do you need to live here? Great, we'll pay you that. That bubble can't pop because people will always pay for it. So the Bay Area rent is going to keep going up, and people are going to be shocked and they're going to be upset about it. But it's a bubble that can't pop, because in order for a bubble to pop, exactly, and you can't, you're going to, the fact of the matter is, like, the Warriors Stadium, 35,000 person wait list for season tickets. To get a courtside license or whatever, it's like $120K or some shit like that. Just for the license to have the ability to buy tickets, you have to pay like $100 plus K.
Like season ticket, like go to like Louisiana, right? Or try and like get a season ticket.
It's crazy
with the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. Look up season ticket for the Pelicans.
Season
like it. We'll get back to that later, but I'd love to see that. Like, it's the pricing out here is outrageous, but when you got these companies paying these top dollars for these engineers, you know what's crazy about everything? There's still not enough. There's not enough engineers doing the jobs. They're still finding more people. They have to. All those folks that Trump is trying to send out or whatever, nah. They're going to continue to have to get these visas for a lot of these Indians and whoever, like, it's real. Like,
no.
The company I work for is like
the season ticket price. So okay, just to give you perspective, the Warriors sideline club. So this is for 43 games. It's $22,000. That's like starting. The sideline Premier Club, which is like the biggest thing you can get, the top tier package is $7,000 for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Times 3.
Like it's literally
about 4 or 5 years ago, the Warriors were in the same bracket.
No, I know that's the crazy part. When B Diddy,
Antoine Jameson,
B Diddy,
wow, that's crazy.
Was he on the Warriors?
Yeah, Antoine Jameson.
And when AJ was the man, it was like 7.
No, Richard was it? No, Richard. No, yeah, it was Antoine Jameson.
With the headband, bro.
Yeah, Antoine Jameson
Times changed.
Was one.
But the Bay, like, I'm happy to be in the Bay right now because this is like the golden age for the Bay Area.
But
like, if you're a part of the community and you can figure out how to live in this community, whether it's West Oakland, Lake Merritt, wherever you are in the Bay, it's growing, the energy's right, and like you feel like you can really expand.
But there's an issue with the Bay Area that everybody recognizes, but it seems like nobody's doing anything about.
The homeless?
No.
What?
About the fact that like you can only go as far as the people that you surround yourself with.
That's a mentality we're changing though.
But no, I understand that, but I'm saying like, okay, if you go to Atlanta, if you go to Los Angeles, if you go to New York, if you go to any of these other metro cities, you'll find people like that in those cities. But for the most part, like for Atlanta artists, right? Right now. Sure. Okay, so let's look at the timeline. The GOATs in Atlanta at one point were Future, Mike Will made it, and everybody like that, right?
Future's still the GOAT.
He still is the GOAT. But we're talking about like passing torches along and like putting people up, right? So then Future starts collabing with like Young Thug, and then Young Thug becomes that guy. Like Future's still a great, but then like Future's saying, "Oh, Thug's up next." Right. Thug has it. Then he gives it to Gunna. Then Gunna takes a little Keed on his tour for Drip or Drown 2. And then now if you look on Instagram, Thug's out there like, oh, Keed's next up. So, and then next thing you know, like Keed's like on his way to do a tour next year. His own headlining tour. And he's been out for 2 years. And then you have people in the Bay Area and you look at a story like G-Eazy, very inspirational. But like, you look at it in the perspective of people who are also coming up in other cities, and they were on within 2 years because you look at the trajectory and it's like, oh, well, they wanted to rap. They met Jay-Z. Jay-Z fucked with them and then put them on and just started putting them in the studio and doing this. And then with G-Eazy, it's like, oh, G-Eazy met all these icons, which none of them fucked with him. And then he had to go on his own. And then he got poppin'. Yep. And then he got mainstream, and then when these icons that he looked up to started falling off, they circled back around and they were like, bro, I remember when you were selling mixtapes out your car, like, we used to slap that shit, blah, blah, blah. And, like, you just hear all these bullshit stories about people who, like, associate themselves or supposedly fuck with it. So it's, I don't know. I think it's funny because people won't fuck with you when you're more poppin' than them, but then once it's like to where it'll benefit them to associate themselves, they're buddy.
100%, but something. So I'm not against G-Eazy at all. I like G-Eazy.
I'm not either, by the way. I'm just saying.
G-Eazy was fucked up about that situation. Is I feel like circling back to what Teo said earlier is it's opportunity. Like G-Eazy went to Atlanta, I think it was, where he really kind of started and to get his buzz, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his look, his style, and his creative director deserves a lot of the credit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's who he marketed to. He took a minute to bring out the Bay Area sound in his music. Like, if you listen to early G-Eazy and black and white stages,
Chicago.
I really liked it, but it's not the same music he's putting out now. He's really comfortable enough and rich enough to be in his own and support the Bay like he was supposed to. But as when he came out in the beginning, that was not the angle that his group and his team was going.
Yeah.
I'm happy that G-Eazy turned into Gerald and circled back, and he's also very particular in who he lets in his circle.
Facts.
Because he's given a lot of little opportunities on tour, but you get to see who he brings along with him.
Yeah.
You know, because I've seen certain people that's just like, boom, leveling up with them. And then certain people that will do one tour and then you don't see him again. So he necessarily shouldn't, not saying he shouldn't, he is one of the biggest faces, highest paid artists of the Bay. There's so many more artists that have worked so much right with him. But he's different.
So why did he get all of this?
I think
fame
because he
nationwide.
left. He left
right?
the Bay.
But that's the thing, Ari. So my point is this, right? So
why did he have to leave the Bay?
Exactly. And then on top of that, like, notice all the artists we just named in Atlanta, like, live and reside still in Atlanta. And then if one of them moves to LA, they all get put on to where they can all move to LA. So it's like no one gets left behind. But then there's like HBK. Look at
Okay, so you can't compare HBK to the Migos or Atlanta.
Oh no.
I'm just saying because like you gotta. This is where people get shit confused in this rap game. Like, and that Nipsey shit confused too. They got real money behind them. It's not just rap shit. HBK are high school dudes that were best friends that started rapping and maybe skating. They're not really in the street. They're not really hustling money. They don't got that bag behind them.
That would provide regardless.
That would provide that regardless by themselves. They would have to be somebody they're not to get that bag. These Atlanta dudes, this bag is not coming. It's not rap money.
No,
Young Thug is not selling multi-platinum albums.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Now, but Lil Baby, 4 Pockets, he is. They all just went legit. Like, this has been something that's come out the mud for them too, and that's like you got to think about it. E40. I'm not from the Bay, so you guys can educate me. E40 is maybe the richest, filthy rich. E40, Too Short, maybe the richest rappers.
I would say Filthy. So Filthy, I would say like what you were comparing it to, where you're like, oh, they don't got the bag, like. Off rap, that's Filthy.
He don't have it off rap.
Filthy is not off rap.
Yeah, 100%. But that's why he's growing in his rap game.
Exactly.
He got street respect.
Now the only thing is
not even street respect. I don't know what kind of respect Filthy got right now.
Bro, you see how he's clowning Mozzie right now?
No, I don't know if it's Mozzie clowning him or he clowning Mozzie.
Nah, Mozzie, like, bro, so the shit he has with Mozzie is bad. They got Mozzie falling off stage. They got Mozzie like
which is
false claiming in interviews.
But
like,
hold on. Mozzie
a real nigga though.
No, I don't take that away, but
he's so strong. Mozzie's one of the few in the past 2 years that I feel like has gotten that reach that's made it out.
And Mozzie is gonna leave a stain. Like he already got a stain in his community.
So how does like somebody like Mozzie make it out? But like. I mean, you got like Neff the Pharaoh. You got like a lot of these other rappers that are just like right here, like who's all black. Like
it's hard to speak about.
They stuck here. Like when I go outside of town, when I go out of town, when I go to Atlanta, when I go to Florida, when I go to Chicago, when I go to hell, if it's not in California, if I step out of California, I'm not hearing none of them niggas.
Yeah, because they don't. Because here's the thing: is like. For example, All Black went on tour, but then you look at his tour and it's like Sacramento, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, LA, SF.
This is where you talk about that real life thing. Like, it's about living in real life over the internet and Instagram. Like, All Black is a hot artist. Neff has been around.
Neff's been around.
Neff I think got that bag. Neff's a real dude who got that bag, who's not just a rapper.
Like, he's good now.
Of course.
You know? That's what I'm saying. He's good. That's why his music, like, he's not kind of
falling off because he's just like whatever.
So it's not falling off, but he's not pushing. He's gonna drop a single when he wants to, type thing.
Makes sense.
But these Bay Area artists, that's what's different about Gerald, is Gerald was able to get that investor and that bag behind them. Nobody like You got to be careful because I respect all of them.
I respect
and
all of
I
them.
just want.
No,
like,
there's no disrespect.
No, that's
it's
what I'm
just
saying. But even like the way they travel, like you're saying, the artist I think who's getting the most exposure right now coming out of the Bay besides Kehlani is Pilo. Because Pilo he's traveling. He's taking his crowd, the people that like him, and he's invested in his culture and in his presence to the game. Whatever Pilo brings to the game, he's invested in that. He's built his own crowd, built his own way. He's putting in his work, and he's traveling with it. He's moving his sound around.
Pilo's the Cole Bennett of the Bay Area, by the way.
100%.
Because Cole Bennett, honestly, like, if you look at lyrical lemonade, that whole movement, it's more than just him shooting music videos. Like, I'm trying to go to Chicago this summer to shoot his festival. It's like a 2-day festival, but you look at the lineup, it's like you got Ski Mask, the Slump God. You have like every top hot 100 artists right now, like, is gonna be at this festival. And Cole Bennett, I think, is like 22, 21 years old, shooting music videos with YNM Melly and like Kanye. He directed that Kanye West video with different personalities or whatever it's called.
Mixed personality. That was
mixed personalities
video though. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, he was directing that video at like a 21-year-old kid, and now he has a 2-day music festival in Chicago.
When is that?
It's in June. Oh, it's like June or July. But
well,
like my point is,
Chicago's like, around that time. It's gonna be a crazy amount of people.
But the point is, like, people are staples in their cities, but then they use their platform to put people on. And I think like Pilo does that in a really good. He does that better than anybody in the Bay. But I think like more people need to do it.
They all got a good connection.
But they also all have the same
connection. But there's certain things that Pilo are doing, that G-Eazy's is doing. There's certain things that they're doing that are separating them from the pack. Yeah, and the pack is stuck in the Bay, and that comes from what you were saying, not getting streams. Like, Bay Area people love Bay Area music, but not everybody around the world catches on as fast as they should.
It's so the fact that
Pilo is pushing his sound and traveling with it, I feel like separates him and puts it that staple, because he always is repping the Bay, but he's repping the Bay all over the world.
But he also needs to bring people, and the point is though, like, he needs to bring people with him, because in order for like there to be a bigger,
and still fighting for his own voice.
100%.
I mean, but I think like when you have multiple voices behind you, like, remember, let's look at like groups that were small but still had a big impact, like Glow Gang with Chief Keef. You had Chief Keef, Fredo, and
I barely
so they're too, though. But here's the thing though, is
drill
like
music, that's just a
but when you have like, they had 4 or 5 rappers who were all popping, who were just doing shows all together. So all of a sudden it's like you got 4 or 5 popping rappers traveling together pushing the sound versus
it's life.
A Chief Keef alone pushing the sound and trying to get that. Like, Bay Area music is its own.
You just compared him to another group of trappers, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm just saying in terms. Okay, so take away the circumstance. I'm talking about just the mentality.
Because each one of them
I feel like
are rappers,
IMSU put all of them on.
He did, but they all got comfortable.
Pilo, they all didn't. Like Sage, I just seen. It looks like they did. I don't know.
But that's the thing,
kind of
is
like talking about Odd Future, Wolfgang. Like, we wanted them to stay together. You know what I'm saying? But
everyone knew they were gonna break up, because Tyler from the get-go. I remember this specifically. I was watching this interview of him in Berlin, and they said, "What do you think the future for Odd Future is?" And he goes, "I don't fucking know. This shit could probably end tomorrow." And he's like a super sarcastic dude. Right. But at the same time, like, everybody knew at a certain point there was going to be Tyler and then kind of like everybody else doing their own thing. Shit. Because like...
The internet is tight too, though. Sid does her shit.
Well, that's because like his goal wasn't for Odd Future to be this collective that grows old together. His goal was like, I want to do my own fucking thing, bring my friends with me, give my friends a big enough platform, Like, why do you think he had Sid DJ for him? Because then all of a sudden, oh, who's Tyler's DJ? Sid. Oh, by the way, do you know she has her own band called The Internet? Oh, really? Dope. So Sid plays
it's
Coach.
More authentic than
no,
that.
And I know it's more authentic than that, but at the same time, like, Tyler didn't set that group up for them to stay together for the next 30 years. He set that group up as a platform to get everybody on. How Lyrical Lemonade, notice he's not shooting music videos for the Migos and all that other stuff. He will, and he'll drop videos with them. But the majority of his music videos, you're like, who the fuck is this? And then you're like, but this is a fire-ass video. And then the song's fire. And then you look at their catalog, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm a fan. For example, Warhol SS. Like, Warhol's a perfect example of that. Warhol, everybody I've introduced Warhol to, like, they're like, oh shit, this is fire. Like, this shit. He's still
got a way to go.
No, he does, but at the same time, when you go to Cole's Lyrical Lemonade page and see his music video views, he's getting like 2.4 million. He's selling out shows up and down LA, in Chicago, in New York, in Miami. He's playing with the Rolling Louds. Like, that's the things the Bay Area is.
What he sings to, or he?
No, he's a rapper.
Cole raps?
Oh no, Cole's a music video director and filmer.
He's selling out shows, or Warhol?
No, Warhol's selling out shows.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people don't know, but he's definitely on like the Rolling Loud list. He's usually
but even another example would be Hoodrich Pablo Juan. Like,
same with him.
Same with keeps getting robbed.
but he still keeps like.
He's going
making project. Like, all of his music, it keeps getting more and more and more.
What would you put him at next to Roddy Ricch?
Yeah.
Oh, Roddy Ricch is on Roddy Ricch up next?
I feel like he's on now.
Roddy Ricch is already on,
but he's like about to.
Once he drops his project, that'll be his defining moment.
Like, Roddy about to take over the game.
Right. So when I go to clubs, I hear Roddy Ricch everywhere.
But the thing about Roddy Ricch is his blow up came out of nowhere.
Well, that's just off that
internet.
Song, that's why.
The internet.
Roddy Ricch and Juice WRLD.
What song?
Die Young.
Die Young.
And every
I knew Ari was going to say something where it's not going to be
crazy.
Die Young. That's how she asked what song.
No. She was about to flame niggas.
It is Die Young, but
both of those songs are crazy.
The reason that he's about to be on in a different level is that voice, and you can feel him from his soul.
No, you can tell it's authentic.
Every song he spits is from his soul, and we ain't heard like a lot of real shit in a long time. Yeah. And like everything he's dropping right now, like every time your homie died, you back to listening to I Don't Want to Die.
For example, I have another example too. Juice WRLD. So Juice WRLD,
that is a talented.
Because here's the thing. So
flow.
But
have you seen the videos of him flowing?
Yeah.
But have you seen? Videos. But if you watch so you know how he was signed to that label called Internet Money at first. So have you watched any of Internet Money's streams, Nick Mira? Like, he's a producer. This kid is a fucking animal. Like, he'll make like 10 beats in 3 hours. Like 10 full mastered, mixed down, ready to go beats in 10 hours. So he, like, the Sting sample, that isn't sample that's played in that song, he like typed it out. Like, he was just like playing with notes until it sounded right. Like, he didn't sample the actual thing. He just like, he's like, oh, I heard it, and then I just like played it on the piano until it just sounded like I wanted it to. And then he gave it. They signed Juice WRLD, and that song went crazy. But then he has like slappers that people don't even know about. Like he has music that like people don't like,
and his range is crazy.
No, his range is crazy. Like I think Juice
WRLD made it a little bit hard for Uzi.
Because Uzi is like, here's a Juice WRLD song that like no one knows. Oh shit. This is not gonna. Can you hear it in your headphones?
I can hear it.
Okay.
I actually heard these.
I like Juice WRLD.
No, I definitely heard this. This is fire. That emo music. Straight for the suburban kids.
And then like
there's so many of us.
Exactly. And then like here's so Ari, just for reference, this is who Warhol SS is. And he's heard this song before on multiple occasions. Because this is probably like one of my favorite songs of all time.
You're a Warhol fan,
because Warhol, he's a real he's really doing his shit right now. So this is produced by Diablo.
Oh, for real? Are we gonna be able to mix this over the track? Where'd you meet him? Warhol.
Like that's a poppin'. Like that's a freestyle too. That's not like some shit he sat down and wrote. He just like got in a booth. Like that whole song is literally him from getting into the booth, hearing the beat, and then just yeah. Because that's why he's like, I can't hear the metronome.
Yo, NLE Choppa, he looks like a cat that does that as well.
But I think like here's the thing. So even Thug admitted to it. He was like, I don't write. He's like, I just get into the booth
I can kind of completely understand that. Thugger, I can completely understand him not writing. But like, you seen when NLE Choppa was like doing his thing in front of Birdman.
Hell yeah.
And then
that was hilarious. He deserved to be famous off of that.
And then the voiceover.
Yes, with the students. And this how everybody talks to their mom. Bro, that was hilarious. That's one of those memes that you have to stop and listen to.
I'm not gonna lie. I was at work and I just let it out. I was cracking up and no one knew what the fuck why. But I told you I'm gonna put the dishes.
That shit is funny. Man. It's been. I'm not gonna front. It's been hard for me to listen to music lately.
It all sounds the same.
It's that it all sounds the same, and like I'm from Los Angeles, and I haven't had nobody on but Tupac and this for the past month. I swear to God,
I can already see right now.
Straight up, I need to be put on me. No facts. I need to be put on to what's new coming out because I'm on a whole different type of vibe.
Well, speaking of putting on the new music, so we have our first party coming out May 8th on Wednesday. It'll also be streamed on this channel as well.
It's about to be lit.
Yeah, the shit's about to be fun as fuck. We're giving away champagne bottles for free. You'll be able to register to win a free grill in week 4.
On Wednesday nights, Joe.
Exactly.
People are really out here.
But here's the thing: it's not. I don't want it to be this like crazy ass turn up party.
But
I want it to be a place where like people can just come and like kick it and like.
Sir, I'm gonna just calm down for a second. People still pull up to party.
I understand that, but like I want a classy crowd. I don't want any no thoughts in my parties.
So all your thoughts out there, stay home.
All you girls with white toes and clear heels, stay the fuck away from my party.
Do not talk about the toes.
He's wild.
Max, take notes from Max.
If you're planning on going out with no panties on, this is not the party for you.
Yo, we're super excited to be official sponsors of Wi-Fi sessions on Wednesdays. Come support, come see the catalog. If you ever thought about getting a grill, a piece of jewelry, come check us out. We'd love to talk to you.
IG.
It's lit. IG at Gold Teeth Gallery.
For sure.
Let's get it.
You could follow Teo at MBA, not NBA, because we all know he was too lax to make the NBA, that's so he just got his master's.
That's right. What
he's like the draft or that extra free year to get my master's degree.
I'm out. Shout out Max. The fuck.
And then you could follow me at 1324.jpg or Maxwell BP or Wi-Fi sessions or Burton, San Francisco, because that's where my normal day job is at. Anyways, we got episode 3 dropping next week. It's probably gonna be the same fucking squad because actually I don't know. Maybe we'll have a special guest. Maybe we won't. Maybe you'll just have to fucking show up and find out and not be.
We gotta do a nice little flyer for the folks, man.
I know we do. So okay.
We'll make it easy.
I'll make a deal with you guys. So next podcast. So next Tuesday at 9:30. We were late as fuck this time.
For sure. I was in the grocery line.
Because Teo got stuck behind someone trying to pay with an alternative payment method that takes forever.
You know, Mr. NBA is not having that.
No.
Mr. Graphite credit card over here.
Hell no. First of all, I don't have one of those. No, but real talk, I was patient the whole time. Like, I didn't even want to go to another line.
Oh, no. I
was like, you know what?
Wait. Sometimes it's best to just wait.
Yeah, for sure. I was next up, too. So I went.
But anyways... Mr. doesn't wait in line at grocery stores and drives Teslas for errands.
I'm testing out the Teslas because I want to get my own opinion about it.
Yeah, before he buys it.
Read the Ben Baller story before you buy a Tesla.
Of course.
It's about how you got. Have you heard it? One person got trapped in their car.
Yeah, his son has asthma or something, and had an asthma attack in the car, and the car locked. Please read the story. The car locked, and he couldn't get his son out the car for I think like an hour. I don't want to make things up, but the Tesla doesn't have any type of manual mode. So somehow now because of Ben Baller,
maybe because of that, because they have this.
They have to have
manual.
You have to try out that manual mode because I don't know how that car locks, but how do you get locked to your car? The Tesla will lock
the robots
in your
take
car.
over.
Yeah, you better be careful with a Tesla. I'm not trusting Teslas manual only.
That's why you hear all these stories, and I'm just like, man, let me go ahead and just.
Yeah, you have to try that thing out, and then I would test it till it locks on you. Try to get out that bitch.
I'm always gonna have my key. What are you talking about?
But okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So next week, what we're gonna do is. On Tuesday at 9:30, we are you can win $100 cash if you tune into this podcast. At some point, there's gonna be a keyword.
$100.
Ari will not be here because she's gonna try to win.
That's what I'm saying. Hustler. Come on.
Just a heads up, it'll probably just be me doing this podcast and Teo sitting in his room while I'm sitting in his living room recording this by myself.
Nah, cause I'm not trying to get robbed either.
But no, so we're gonna give away $100. I don't know to how many people. It could be like $20 to 5 people, $25 in Amazon gift cards. I don't know.
I like 50 to 2 people.
50? Okay, so we'll do like two $50 Amazon gift cards.
Me and my homie about to be
next. And Ari has to be here.
Okay, I'll be here. I'll have people speak
out to me. We're gonna give away 2 $50 gift cards next week. Also, we'll be giving away details on how you can win potentially. Wait, shit. This party I think is in like 3 weeks. So yeah, no, next week should be fine. Next week you'll find out about how you can win free champagne bottles and flex on Instagram to make your friends jealous that they didn't go out on a Wednesday night. So, anyways, as always, I'm Max. Ari, you have a minute to plug projects, anything, any last words, thoughts?
Yo, it's Flight with the Gold Teeth Gallery. We got a lot of things coming up. Collaboration with Dope Air. Shout out Dope Air. Collaboration with Soul Space. Shout out Soul Space. Collaboration with Wi-Fi Sessions. Official sponsor of Wi-Fi Sessions parties. The Gold Teeth Gallery is coming with it. If you haven't heard of it, read about it. It's something that you definitely want to be interested in, and shout out to all the support, and thank you for everybody who's rocking with us.
And support black businesses. Fuck it.
And Teo?
Hey man, we out here So next week, we'll probably drop some new information next week. Have some things I'm cooking.
Facts. All right. Well, on that note, I'm out. Follow me at MaxwellBP. Send any topic suggestions, questions, requests, anything to my DMs. They're wide open. Looking forward to hearing back from you guys.
His DMs are wide open.
Except I do have a girlfriend,
Not
so
me.
not in that way. So
it's kind of open for business.
It's like open for business, but you may have a 4'11" Filipino girl pull up on you and catch you if you fuck with me. So
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So I'm a black man don't cheat hashtag.
Yo, I'm out of here.
We out.